and welcome to ABC. This term we're going back to the theme that we were doing just before the summer holidays, and we're continuing to look at some amazing Bible characters and how God uses them in the Bible. Each week we're going to do loads of fun things, so we're going to have a Bible story with Claude, a chat with Kat, there's going to be challenges and crafts and plenty of Play-Doh fun. So come and get stuck in with us.
So we've got the lovely Inga with us, and she is going to do our Play-Doh challenge this week. So Play-Doh challenge is all about you guys at home trying to work out which Bible story we're looking at this week and which story is being modelled out of Play-Doh. So in a second I'm going to show Inga which Bible story she's making, and then it's over to you guys at home to send us messages, try and guess which story we are modelling this week and which story we're going to be looking at later with Claude and with Kat. All right, Inga, are you ready? Go. It's this one. Oh, no pressure. 20 seconds. Classic, classic.
Hey, what
Amazing.
story is that going to be, Becca?
That is Daniel and the lion's den, because the lion hasn't eaten him.
So, Kat told me that because I'm a really good reader, she wants me to read the Bible story to you guys every week. So we're going to do that. Here we go! Daniel and the lions, from Daniel chapter 6 in the Bible. Darius became the new king of Babylon. Daniel was his chief helper. The king's other helpers did not like Daniel. They said to the king, "You are such a wonderful king. You should make a new law that for the next 30 days, everyone must pray only to you. If they disobey, they will be thrown into the lion's den." King Darius made the new law, but Daniel kept praying to God because Daniel loved God. The king's helpers caught him praying. They told King Darius, "Now you must throw Daniel into the lion's den." The king knew he had been tricked, but he had to obey his new law. Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. He was not afraid. He knew God would take care of him. King Darius told Daniel, "I hope your God will save you." That night, the king could not sleep. He was too worried about Daniel. At sunrise, the king hurried to the lion's den. "Has your God saved you from the lions?" he called. "Yes," answered Daniel. "My God sent his angel to protect me." So Daniel returned to the palace. Then King Darius ordered everyone to honor and respect God. Wow.
Hi everyone, I hope you're well. So we're back looking at amazing Bible characters. If you tuned in over the summer, you'll have done our Champions Holiday Club, and we're sticking to the same kind of style, but we're going back to looking at Bible characters and people that followed God and learned that God's way was the best way. And this week we are looking at Daniel. And it's a story, Daniel in the Lion's Den. It's one that many of us know, but I want us to think a little bit about what it must have been like for Daniel. So we're going to get into Daniel's shoes, and to do that I need you to think about your favourite things about where you live. Maybe it's your bedroom, you love your room, or there's a favourite park nearby, or it's the people, your friends. Just take a minute to think about what you really love about where you live. Now imagine that an army comes along and takes you away from everything you've ever known, everyone you've ever known, and you're somewhere new and different with a different language and different customs, and you have to learn how to get on in this new place. That was Daniel's story. He was taken from his home by the king of Babylon and his army, and he was taken to Babylon with his friends, and he had to learn the customs of that place, and they were very different from what he was used to. And his struggle was to make sure that he still followed God's ways in this place that didn't know who God was. And it wasn't easy, but him and his friends managed to do it because God had their back and God kept them safe. And God actually made sure that they had really good jobs in this new place. And all the kings that Daniel served really liked Daniel. The king's officials, however, didn't like Daniel so much. And in our story today, they were really jealous of Daniel, and they were trying to find some way to get Daniel into trouble. But they just couldn't find anything wrong with Daniel himself. His character was flawless. So they decided the best way was to attack his faith. So they came up with a sneaky plan. They tricked the king into making a new law. This rule said that everyone had to pray to the king. Now that wasn't something that Daniel would do because he followed God, and we only pray to God. So this new law said that it was wrong, it was illegal to pray to anyone other than the king, and if you were to do it, you would die. Now, if you're someone that prays every day and then you're told it's illegal and the punishment is death, what would you do? Would you stop praying altogether? Or maybe you would keep praying, but you would be sneaky about it. You would do it in secret and hope that no one found out. Daniel, well, he kept doing what he'd always done. Daniel knew it was really important to spend time with God, so every day, 3 times each day, he would fling the windows of his room wide open and he would talk to God. Now, the officials thought this was great. They thought they had Daniel. Daniel would be done for. He would be thrown in the lion's den and it would be death by wild lion. But God had other plans. God kept Daniel safe in that den. See, he honoured what Daniel had done. He had Daniel's back. Daniel had stood for God. Daniel had trusted God, and he dared to be different. And he'd kept God first. And God kept him safe. The king was amazed. He was astounded. The whole nation came to see just how powerful God was. So there's a big challenge for us there, isn't there? If we are going to follow God, are we ready to put God first? Are we ready to be different from those around us? Are we ready to stand up for God, to praise him and talk to him even if other people don't do that and when they don't think it's right? Are we ready to follow God like Daniel and know that God's way is the best way? I hope so. Have a wee think about it this week, guys. Chat with friends, with family who believe the same thing. Get in touch with us, cyp@stm-upton.org.uk. Drop us a line, let us know what you think. Are you ready to be different like Daniel and go God's way? I'll speak to you next week. Bye.
Alright guys, it is time for this week's challenge. We have Becca against Malcolm. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. When I tell them, they're going to lift up the scarf from the table. On that block there are 15 objects. They'll have a little bit of time to look at those objects. The scarf will go back down. I'm going to remove some items. They've got to work out what is missing. Okay guys, are you ready?
We're ready.
Ready. Remove the scarf. 3 items. In a second, I'm going to get Malcolm and Becca to lift the scarf. Can you beat them at working out what the 3 items that are missing are? Are you ready? Steady. Remove the scarf.
I got it.
Malcolm thinks he knows what they are. Let's find out. Malcolm, what is missing?
The big button,
Uh-huh.
the peg,
Yep.
and the ice lolly.
Malcolm is the winner.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Well done, Malcolm.
Did anyone manage to beat Malcolm? Let us know.
So something that Daniel really valued was spending time with God, and he would spend time in prayer at least 3 times a day talking to God. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I find it difficult knowing what to pray, what to say to God, and I'll be sat there with big silences thinking, what should I say next? Which is silly, because God just wants us to be able to talk to him like we would talk to anyone. But sometimes it's helpful to have little prompts. So I've made a prayer jar, and in it I've written some different things to help me to pray and to help us as a family. So this is going to sit on our kitchen table, and when we have a prayer time, we can pull out one of these sticks and use this to help us talk to God. So this one says 5 things that you're thankful for. So we'll be able to think of 5 things together and talk to God about them. So thought we can make it together. So for this, you're going to need a jar, or if you don't have a jar, some other kind of container, maybe like a big yogurt pot or a little box. I've used lollipop sticks to write my prayer prompts onto, but you could just use strips of paper or card. And instead of writing them, you could draw pictures if that's better for you, or you could even put photos of people that you want to pray for into the jar as well. So it's up to you how you do it. You just need some stuff that you could decorate with. I've got some little coloured hearts that we had left over from another craft project that we were doing. So I'm going to use these, and I've written pray onto them. So you just want to stick on whatever it is that you've got. You could use some wrapping paper if you've got some old wrapping paper, or some cards. If you've got like birthday cards or Christmas cards or something that have got nice pictures on them that you like, whatever you can find that you can use, just grab it and use it. So I'm sticking these on. And I'm also going to put on some twine, some string, just around the top as well. You could do that if you've got some ribbon, that would look pretty too. Also, you could use it as a little gift for someone in your family as well, couldn't you? If you're trying to think of, I know we're not quite at Christmas yet, but if you've got thinking of Christmas ideas, maybe you could make a prayer prompt jar for someone in your family. So there we are. So I've got this one here. It says pray. I'm going for a minimalist look for this one. And then I can write some things down on my sticks. So I could write people's names themselves. So maybe on this one I will write down Cara. She's my youngest. So when this stick comes out, we can say a prayer for Cara. And I better do one for Ailey as well. So there we go. So you could write down people's names. You could write down something like a favourite thing to be thankful for, to say thanks. Pop that in there. You could write down maybe a verse that you could all look up together to do with prayer. I've got some in this jar here, Romans 12:12. So when that comes out of this one, we could get our Bibles out and read that and see how that could help us to pray. Sometimes prayers just seem a bit like a long list of can I have this, God, don't they? So maybe I'll put one on that says I'm going to write character of God. And what that is just thinking about something about what God is like, to make me stop and think about who I'm talking to and not just my big to-do list. So maybe when this one comes up, I'll think about how powerful God is. We learned about that today, didn't we? When thinking about Daniel, that God is more powerful than any king or any lion. So that is our prayer prompt jar. So have a go at making it and put it somewhere in your house and maybe use it together as a family as a way of talking to God more. Okay, see you later.
So guys, we hope you've had loads of fun this morning doing all the things that we've put in our video, and we hope you got loads out of it and learnt loads too. We hope you've been inspired by Daniel and his life as well. We've got plans for doing things in real life with you guys as well as online. But to be involved in that, we need your details so that we can contact you. If you think that we might not have your details, in fact, even if you think we definitely have got your details, please could you get your mum or your dad or your carer or your whoever looks after you and does those responsible things, get them to send us an email at cyp@stm-upton.org.uk, and we'll get back to them and make sure that we've got all your details so that we can get you involved in the exciting things that we've got in the pipeline. If you are preschool age and you've really enjoyed this morning, we've got a separate fun sheet for your mum or dad to download and to go through with you. It's got activities, it's got games to play, and it's got a little bit more about the story. We hope you've had so much fun this week, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.